this is... What is this going to be? What's up, Sonar? This is just load order stuff, I think. I had my, this was from the Bosmer build. I'm not even using it. Not using it. Nope. Went slightly different. Slightly. Ever so slightly. Let me see here. That's all we're pretty much doing today. Um, what I was doing is I was actually following Northern for the most part. You could see wow, I got down to here. It's structured a little bit different than Nordic. And what I decided to do was nuke, start again, keep some of the separators, like the core stuff. You can see I'm at 243. My plugins are only at 81. I knew it's going to be like that. Most of it's going to be meshes and textures. I'm not going too crazy, but then again, I haven't done the patches yet, so so you could see like core stuff here, but then you'll see it skip from right here, so 7 for like my secondary textures, and then I went and I jumped to category 22 to my farmhouse. So all I did at this point was just move that particular separator up and like 28 was like we did all our textures at once, right? And then I started creating my own as I go. So you'll see there's the difference between the separators themselves. Hey, Wind. Not first. Yeah, Northern's structured a little bit differently. And what I decided to do is I'll just make my own separators as I go. So ignore the number. The number is not accurate. Because those separators were moved. This one was created. Effects and textures is now here. I have it loaded up higher. Quest size DLC is a little bit lower. Loader. So that's created. There's no number. Gameplay overhauls. That's lower. Survival. Only 2 created. Then my weather and my atmosphere. What I was looking for, if I could find it, was let me minimize some of the stuff that I've already done. Gameplay. Additional quests, because the only other stuff that I'm doing is effects and textures. Animal textures. Like I said, I did all my textures at once. And it's not going to be what you guys are used to seeing, at least for me. And I'm okay with that because this is for like textures for stone. There's a lot of stuff that I'm going to be using that I haven't used before. Hey, Mike, what's going on? Not in a official stream capacity, but yeah, we're setting up for a little something different. Um, and I wanted to make sure, like, I didn't do any of this stuff for certain things, because some of these mods that this one's reliant on using these as opposed to this, I'm not using them. So I need these particular textures to show. Um, with this though, I think it's this one here, you had to hide all the parallax stuff because that was actually from LE, and I'm not going for a parallax setup. Like my base textures here. I actually went back to SRO, surprisingly. Where is it? Right here. And I actually threw this into BSA format because it's not. It's 4 files that are about 3 gigabytes apiece, give or take. And I merged them all into one, Um, and as you can see, it does give you the ESPs, but they're in BSA format instead of having just meshes and textures loose, laying all over the place. I don't like loose files if I can help it, because they overwrite anything from a BSA. Like they'll take precedence. It doesn't matter. Um, and BSA's load quicker. So this one normally, and it's real easy to do. It's real easy to zip something back up and put it right into BSA format. Um, of course, it did give me light plugins. Now, these probably aren't going to matter. Stuff like this. Undiscovered Skyrim I know isn't going to matter. SkyUI isn't going to matter. Probably my loading screen's not going to matter. Um, things that have, like this, the sign for burn as oddments. This might matter when I'm trying to run the patcher. No, I'm going completely different. I am going back to Obsidian and Ominous. Speaking of Ominous, I have to actually put that in. I literally just put EMB in. And this is my favorite weather in EMB combination. And since Fireman AF updated everything to the, I think everything, yeah, to the latest binary. 409, yep. So we're getting everything. We are getting everything. Oh, what the hell am I doing? We're getting the good stuff. Ominous for me was always my favorite. Do I have? Yes, I do. But I'm gonna have to turn this down because this was like way up. And then if it gets louder, I'll turn it down again. Main file. We always want the full quality. You don't want to skimp on your EMB when you're adding it in. Optional rain textures. So this is something that comes with a lot of Fireman's EMB presets. Now, I am not going to be adding it because what I find myself doing is I use Wonders of Weather. Yes, I will be using Legacy again. Yep. I will be using Legacy. Legacy is already installed. No optional rain textures. There it goes. Okay. Sometimes some are louder than others. I don't need to adjust the depth of field. I can do that on my own. And this is just suggested reading. Well, these are pictures, I guess. He has them in the wrong spot. Installed readme text. Okay. We don't need anything else. We're good. Ominous is installed. So I can delete that out of here. What I'm looking to run is Percus Maximus. And I figured out a way to get around the issue with running the patcher with this. There's two with this that you'll need if you decide to run this. You're going to need the main mod itself. So main mod is 355 megabytes. It's a big file, right? You're definitely going to want the defluffing perks because this will actually tell you what the perks themselves do, right? And this is just a comparison. So this is perma by itself. Despite no formal training, your knack for alchemy exceeds many more experienced mixers, improving your output and fieldcraft. Well, that doesn't tell me shit. The defluffed absolutely does. Instantly grants field alchemy and skilled enhancer rank 1 for this particular one. Otherwise, we'd never know. You'd be guessing. It's probably my favorite overhaul. Hey, Mel. The issue with perma itself And I found this last year, so I don't know if I'm probably not the first person to find it out, but I'm definitely the first person to comment on it. You can't have any light plugins on SE. If you go to, let's see, how do we want to go somewhere? Where do I want to go? Let's go to LE. Okay. Okay. So Percus Maximus for LE is the same, pretty much. There's different files in here, obviously. He's got the documentation is separate, right? Then there's a minimal patch, and then what this is you'll run the main, you'll take the optional, and it's like 20 mods or less for that, right? Um, However, it requires Java, and specifically 32-bit Java, not the 64-bit Java. So you'd have to, I think it's Oracle you'd have to go to get Java. I should have it installed already. I think I do. Okay, so run command. But I actually got a Java update somewhere, so I have to go find that and update Java itself. Anyway, or I could use this version. It doesn't really matter. I have to actually allocate memory to make it 32-bit because it's running off 64. It's like 2048, and you have to make it 1024. So you have to, or you'll technically, quote unquote, run out of memory. Kind of a pain. What I'm trying to do is I've been trying to convert it from having this Java requirement for Mod Organizer 2 users only to use zedit program. Because in the zedit program, there's the zmerge. And what I'm trying to get it to do is I'm trying to get it to merge all of your ESLs into one and then giving that its own ESP. The problem with that is I would have to do that several times because obviously I couldn't throw something like my, these are the base landscape, right? This is a 12 megabyte file, these four ESPs, right? I couldn't throw them in with all my patches. It wouldn't make any sense. And then things like frost mesh patch, flesh effects. Well, the flesh effects mod itself is a light plugin. So who knows if this is going to get flagged by Java once I install Percus itself. I don't know. Um, and then I think it's this is the other one too. This is the one I'm going to wind up converting this over to Special Edition. Perma compatibility, PCAP. There's 22 files in here. This is the main collection of patches for Tendo's Percus Maximus. Requires version 1.3 plus. And then of course these are update files. Immersive Armors 8. These are the XML edits, obviously. Immersive Creatures has its own. Optional, obviously, if you go through here, you can see what each one does. Some are very specific, some aren't. Lost Longswords. Then the Modders pack itself. C-Core. KS Jewelry's replacer. Mini Armors Collection replacer. And they're small files. None of these are very, very large. But you can see there's a lot North Girl armor. So it gets pretty specific. If you're running any of these, you're going to need these. If you don't worry about it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just the main, right? So you'll see the file contents here. I'm going to convert this because this relies on the unofficial Skyrim Legendary Edition patch, or use sleep. So I'll convert that over. I'll force it to recognize the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition patch as its master. So you're going to have that as a requirement, right? Hey Strudel, welcome. Um, because the problem everybody's running into is Legendary Edition. I mean, unless you've been modding it for years, to go back to it really doesn't make any sense. Stability wise, yes, it has more mod support, but it's really, really simple to convert a mod from Legendary Edition to Special Edition. It takes about 5 minutes to do, unless it's a large mod. There's a lot of files, and you have to do certain files individually, one by one. The majority of the time you don't. I could run something that's meshes and textures, and it'll take me about 5 to 6 minutes to convert a whole mod. The house mod that you guys saw me doing with my Bosmer, that took me less than 10 minutes to convert everything over. So it's easy to do. The problem with this on SE is the Java requirement. So unless you got to take it step by step to make it nice and easy. Let me just delete some of these. So that's what I'm working on. I'm not going to do that tonight, obviously. I may get to it at some point tomorrow. Um, that's a nice one. What's this one? Bringer of Rain. Okay. But I want to get this. I want to get this main mod to not have the Java requirement. Forget what it says in description requirements. It should say it. It does. Trust me, it does. I know it does. I've used it before. In the meantime, what I'll wind up doing is I'll see how many of these, like here, 3D NPC. This is interesting NPCs here, special edition. So this already comes as a ESL. So this may or may not take. Most of the patches won't. I know particularly this Rustic Soul Gems gist patch. This is for Rustic Soul Gems sorted version as an ESL with the gist patch. This I'm going to have to convert to just a basic. This is why I want to keep my active plugins down. So if you look at it, I've really got 64, and I've got 17 that I need to make back to an ESP. Because ZEdit is so much easier to use than Java, and you won't have to rely on that outside program. You could run it straight from MO2, although technically you run Java straight through MO2 as well. And the difference is time. You're cutting your time down. The patcher itself, like when I'm finished, if you guys think Dyndelad and All Good takes a long time to run, and I'm going to say this, and I hope nobody takes this the wrong way. If you don't have like a PC that's built like mine or higher, because I can run the patcher and it takes me about 30 minutes, right? I'm assuming somebody like Sam, it would probably take less. Maybe not, I don't know. But less specs, you're looking upwards of an hour. Because what this mod does is, it's not just a perk mod. So, if you get a chance to go to the page, it's mod number 11044. You could find it on the LE page too. There's a couple videos here. Dirty Weasel here has one. I think Bro Duel did a quick overview of it, more of a showcase really. Not really sure who this was. I'm not really sure. I did watch this one. Cal's is the best by far, and this is actually part 1 of 2. There are 2. He did 2 tutorials for this. They're about 27-28 minutes apiece. What is it? Why does it need to exist? This was the old. If you've played the game long enough, you'll remember Skyrim Redone. This is the successor to that. He's basically taken a lot of the things with Skyrim Redone and thrown it into a newer one, focusing on the perks, but keeping a lot of the old things uh, from Skyri. And Skyri had the Skyproc Patcher. This one also has what they call a Skyproc Patcher. And where you'd go to find that is here in data. I don't have it here because I don't have the mod installed, but there's going to be a folder called Skyproc Patcher. And let's just say it was the source. Here you'd open it up. It would say Tendo's Percus Maximus. This one you'd open up, and there would only be two files here, the Java file and more heap space. It's a .bat file, so that's where that's located. And then you actually have to make that an executable, so it'll appear here in your dropdown, which is pretty easy. All it is just it's a right click, add as executable. Bam, there it goes. But you're not finished because then you have to allocate the memory uh, for it so that when you run the patcher, it doesn't freeze or crash on you. And what I mean by allocate the memory is take the 2048 that the 64-bit Java gives you and turn it into 1024. And a lot of that stuff doesn't make sense. Don't worry about it. I may not get to it tonight. I'm just kind of going over what I'm doing. I'm not using alternate start. I have it in here, and I have it in here as a placeholder. I'll probably be using for this play, I'll probably be using Skyrim Unbound. It's been a while since I've used that. Um, and as much as I like these two, and there's a Necromancer start here, there's another Necromancer start in New Beginnings. This character is, for those that if you were around earlier this afternoon when I was talking about, it's going to be an Altmer. And I haven't played a High Elf in a while. It's been a long time. I started one on PC. He was kind of a test character. Nothing really came of it. There was no story. There was no anything. But I was talking to Loki about it this afternoon, and I had a pretty good idea. And I have a couple pages of notes written. Not story, just notes, because I can wing a story on the fly. It's that for me that's not that difficult to do. Although I do like to take notes. I write a lot of stuff down. Um, I had a good idea for what I'd like this guy to be. It also involves me asking permission to use the name of a certain other character that I'm not going to mention. Just the name, not the actual character itself. I feel like even doing something like that is a show of respect. But we'll see what happens. I still have to give it some time and some thought. And of course, depending on how a conversation goes with a certain individual, that may or may not be the way the story starts or goes. But either way, it's going to be the character that I'm going to play. He will be a high elf. Um, we'll have to see. Test character. Oh yeah, yeah. He was the old one was this is a while ago. This is going back to last year. This was probably in around September at some point. Um, Speaking of, uh, join Thalmor because I didn't get this yet, did I? No, I didn't. I had this in for my boss where I was going to do that. This makes even more sense. Of course, I could start out as a Thalmor agent and use alternate start, but Unbound seems like it's going to be a little more fun. I've used it before. I like it. Um, you'll notice I have Undeath in here. Undeath is probably my favorite quest mod. I do have to manually clean this. That's not fun. It's kind of a broken mod, but even without cleaning, I really don't encounter any issues. There's just the landscape issue right outside of the one tower where you can kind of see right through the landscape. And your landscape doesn't matter. There's just so many flaws with it. It was never really refined. You can't just put it into auto clean and expect it to be cleaned. It doesn't work like that. You really have to manually clean it. Um, so we'll keep that in. The perk overhaul I'll get to at the end. You want to run this last. This is similar to running things like brain churns towards an idea. Well, Strudel. It'd be a character I think a lot in this chat would be very familiar with. And it's not, like, again, it's not to use the character, it's just to mention the name of the character. That's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for anything else. But I also feel like I would have to, excuse me, ask permission to even do that. Because I think it would make an interesting beginning to the story, and the story in general. I don't even know what song. What song is this? Untamed, okay. We'll get back to that. What was I looking for? I was looking for mountains. My mountains. Where were my mountains? So this is Majestic Mountains Lod. I'm not using Majestic Mountains. I'm going to use John Rose's Granite Mountains. So I have the resources. I have a lot of textures. These are actually in a different place now. We put these up above all my main textures. So you see resources is here. HD LOD textures is here. I may need terrain LOD redone. I'm not sure yet, because I ultimately went with a combination of Skyrim Realistic Overhaul, then the Particle Patch, Static Mesh. Obviously I don't play without Static Mesh, Enhanced Texture Detail, Ruins Clutter, Noble. I went back to Noble, and High Poly, and Skyland as my landscape. I went back to Skyland. Strudel, I spent my morning watching EJ's Dawnbreakers. I went back because I remember I started and I think I got about 40 episodes in. And then, I don't know if it was today or if it was yesterday, I remember I got a notification she released a new one. And of course I didn't want to start with that. And then I'm like, well, which one did I leave off on? So I went back and started it right at the very beginning. So, and I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. I love when she does the voices. I absolutely love it. So, I'm kind of going between both Nordic and Northern. Just picking and choosing some things. Not a lot, like I said. It's not heavy. We're basically done. And even for my armors, I don't even think a Midianborn is going to make it in here. I think I'm just going to go with the Cathedral armors. I'm hoping so. Which is, I think, was it like 280 videos? I have a lot to catch up on. Like I said, I went through the first 40. This is going back to when I think like every night of the week somebody was streaming something, or there was something to do. And at the time I was well, let's just say I had less time on my hands. So wrong one. I want this one. Okay. I have to think where my mountains were going, because for the most part I've been following Northern Experience, which is technically the old Yash guide, but I'm taking snippets from here, I'm taking little tidbits from here. And I don't believe I actually got to the mountains, unless I just passed them over. Ah, here it is. So right under Blended Roads. Okay, we could do that. But let's see, it's got to go above Skyland, right? So Blended Roads for me is... So it's got to go directly under Sky, because Skyland... Yeah, this is going to get overwritten by a couple things. Snow. Yeah. underground. Skyline does a lot. Skyline touches almost everything. So we'll do that. We'll use John Rose's. Because I don't have to worry about any of the meshes or anything like that. It's been a while since I've used his. They're quite good. And yeah, they look fantastic on a map, I have to say. Let me just check his files here. So granite for Majestic. We're gonna go just with the normal granite. Requires Majestic mounts to be installed. Yeah, so I don't want to double up. I know it's 180 megabytes for this, 91 for the base, and that's what I'm going with. There it is. Just textures. Literally. And it's got the moss in there in case you guys are wondering. It does have moss rocks. And this is going to go under, where is it? So Skyland is 80, so this should be 81. And that should be one of the last ones that I do. I think even this will be... No, it won't be overwritten, will it? No. Nice. Okay, that's what we want. And because then now our main LOD files are higher, that's exactly what I want. SRO is not... here, let me show you. It is not... it's on, what's it, Mega? So these are all links. If you right click on the guide and open link in new tab, it'll take you directly where it is. Oh, ModDB. So for those of you curious about this, you'd go to, here it is right here, this is the mod. You go to files. Now there's a couple in here. 1.8 is for original, LE. Ignore this one, unless you're playing on LE. There's 4 files here. It's labeled part 1, 2, 3, and update. These can all be merged together. It's a little over 10 gig. 10 gig of high quality. This touches everything in the game. Everything in the game. Anything landscape, anything mountains, rocks, grasses, ground cover. This is a base. This is your base. I haven't used this in a while. It's been a while. Is it a waste? No, because there are things that the combination of Noble and Skyland don't touch, and SRO does. So I will have, by the time I'm done, I will still have probably about 2 gigabytes worth of stuff that hasn't been touched by anything else except SRO. And I haven't used this in a while. Now, because it's not on Nexus, this will take, they're all manual downloads. So you can't download with Manager with this. And then you get a funny little box that pops up. Don't delete it or don't close it out until you start to see the download. Once you start to see it downloading, then delete it because it's an ad. But ModDB is safe. I think so. Anyway. No errors here. No viruses, nothing. Okay. So let's see what else we were doing. Where am I? Where am I? What am I doing? So we're doing weather and atmosphere. So I went back to Obsidian. Wonders of Weather, Morning Fog, the Ethereal mods, Clouds and Cosmos, and Skygazers. And I threw Smooth Sky Mesh. I gravitated away from Cathedral. I always come back to Obsidian. Personal preference of mine. I love the mod. I think it's definitely my favorite. I still think it's the best weather mod. It's definitely the most versatile. because you could do a lot with it. There's a lot of ENB support. Even if you don't use ENB, it's customizable, and Obsidian Mountain Fogs already comes with it, which I think nearly everybody uses, regardless of whether or not you run its weather. Um, it just makes for a really nice atmosphere, and that's kind of what I'm going for. We're going less of the, excuse me, less of the fantasy with this, slightly more realistic, and Obsidian gives me that. So I'll be using the cold preset, the 66% weaker sunlight, and I'll turn on the seasons. That's my typical setup, and then I'll just ominous EMB accordingly, because that's the EMB I chose. That's my favorite combo. The merge is actually pretty easy. What it's gonna do, um, because you'll probably have them on your desktop, is install a new mod from archive. So like this one here will take me to whatever's on my desktop. Just click it, and then it prompts you as if you did it with manager. So what I do is I just make them all say Skyrim Realistic Overhaul, so they're named the same. Once they're named the same, it detects that there's another file with the same name. So once part 1 is installed, I'll rename part 2 the same thing, and then it'll prompt me to merge, which I do, and then I merge it into one mod. And it just takes a while because they're all 4 of them are massive. I think the smallest one's the update, and it's like 600 megabytes. The other ones are like gigabytes in size. They're big files. Um, oh, so this is all right. So we're on foliage, vegetation. Um, so normally I go with Vadosprum. I may go back to Verdant. I haven't used Verdant in a while. I know Verdant kind of, hits your FPS. It's just been a while since I've used it. I just want to make sure this has the proper link, because I know, yeah, okay, it does. The one on the Nordic guide has a dead link, in case anybody was curious about that. So yeah, because you're gonna want landscape fixes. It's made for Verdant. It's been a while since I've used this mod. It's been ages. When was it updated? Yeah, 29th of December. This was updated even less. Oh, that's crazy. Snowgrass and OC update. Open cities. I don't use open cities ever. Verdant any optional removes shadow tweak. Don't know. So Melix SFO, huh? It's been a while since I've used it. I'm going with EVT. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it as simple as I can. Although, technically SFO is one mod. I get my grass and my trees. The same place. Let me see. Right. Now, I've used this. This should be 2D, I think. And then the update for 2D. Yeah. I don't know, there was something about SFO I don't know. We'll have to see. I could always swap grasses. Excuse me, it's not that it's cleaned all 11 ITM sorted masters. Yeah. Okay. So we'll go with Verdant. Because I haven't. Do I need to... Yeah, yeah, vegetation. Wrong one. Where am I going? And then you could just move the separators, you know, yourself. It's pretty easy to do. There we go. And we'll test Verdant out and see how it goes. Like I said, I don't expect there to be an FPS hit, but yeah, you never know. I do want to see one thing though. It does. So I can adjust the innies here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this at 70. F global contrast boost 0.2. If you noticed, where was it here? So this removes it for users having shadow issues. I never really have shadow issues. I always cut my shadows in half. And I do that through the ini editor itself, right through here. But I don't. Well, let's leave it at 60. We'll see what it looks like base. Let's close this out. Right? Because if I go into here, I don't think I'm gonna have, yeah, just the start fade distance. Things like this will be tweaked. My prefs won't have it, so I normally tweak everything in here: shadows, grass, lighting, certain other things. So let's see. Oh, this is why I used Vadosprim. That's right, I have to go back and do this. My apologies. Verdant is out. I remember why I can't use it. You'll see why in a second. You'll get to see some mini tweaks now with this. You also get to see a major grass mod install. This one's massive, 603. So this was how I set my grass up before. That's pronounced viscous? I used that once. I actually liked it. And even tweaking it a little bit. It was pretty nice. It's one that gets overlooked a lot. But these are the two ones that I normally use. And I will follow. I'm going to follow what they say. So what you'll see me do here is you want packed vanilla. Choose your ini. None. Vanilla landscape. We'll go 2K quality. And BSA 2K full. Install. Okay. I might have to refresh this to do this. Sometimes it takes it. Now I could have sworn that Vadosprim had, because you'll notice it doesn't have it here. Come on. try closing it down. That's the weirdest thing. It's supposed to have waiting on an application to close. What's it waiting on it to close? It's not. It's so close. I had this issue before. Reopen it back up. For whatever reason, it doesn't like me. Yeah. Let's try it again. How about this? Let's run the game. It's not gonna matter. Pause this. And yep, let me switch my capture over. I may have to run it one time. I can't really remember. I don't have everything else set up either. Hey, Wind. Close the mod page. I'm gonna set that too, Sonar. I was right in my Grassini, but I have to add those other 2 lines in. They're right above it. You only get 4 lines when you start. Unless the grass has its own. Now, I can keep Chrome open, and it's usually fine. Because I have to keep Chrome open for everything else, so. Unless it's locked. See, what I just threw E and B, I threw Ominous, and this is only like the 3rd time I've ran the game, so. There it goes. Should go full screen in a second. We just loaded a shit ton of stuff. I haven't actually loaded this up to even test it yet. That reminds me, main menu replacer. I got rid of the smoke and everything. I have clean menu running, but I need a menu replacer. That's pretty ugly. Okay, let's back out of that bad boy. Swap that back over. Oh, that is from Audio Overhaul. Forgot about that. Hidden. Okay. All right. Okay. We have 18,000, 0. Start fade. And you'll notice I don't have the other two lines here, so I paste them in. We're gonna go 60. Save that. PC Master Race options. See how it says 40? Yeah, I even with mine, I never go 40. It's just stupid. Nobody needs it at 40. But I do take the fade distance at 18,000. 60 is always pretty good for me, so. EBT. And then what I will do, wow. Butterfingers. Just gonna say I'm gonna open another link. Let's try and find that other main menu that I was using before. I can't remember what the name of it was. There's relaxing. That wasn't it. Although I could check my... what was it called? Because I liked it. Is it Forest Fantasy? Should probably just type it in. There it is. So Mel, you're an SR or SFO user. So this file, it gives you falling leaves. However, you have to use Skyrim Floor Overhaul. You need the full version to get the falling leaves from here. I figured you'd like it. It's nice and pretty. I like it. It's nice and pretty. The textures per are set to 15. Yeah, my grass is set to 60. My density's at 60. You can adjust the textures themselves too if you want. 15's like higher. It actually goes up that way. If you lower it down to like, I think they say 7 is what's recommended. I always go more. That's why like when my grass looks sparse, it still looks full, and I don't take an FPS hit. So I want the logo, Skyrim. Background logo, but no falling leaves. This one. Beautiful. Okay. Just yoink that up on the top there. All the way up top. We'll put it, let's put it right after add item menu. Cool. Do. Alright, let's see what they say for EBT. So they have their own that they opt to choose. Normally I'll pick my own, but I like to see what the guides usually say. Yeah, but that's just for the main menu replacer. So like if you're running SFO, you can get the falling leaves version of that main menu replacer. I tried it, it crashed my game instantly. I couldn't get out of the loading screen because I didn't have SFO. I just wanted to see what it would do. And it crashed on you, so it's funny. 20 is default. Is that for the density? Why would you go down to 15, Mel? You're not gonna be able to walk. Are you talking about density or are you talking about here, hold on. Let me show you that again. Well here, let me pick this first. So we'll take darker blushes. We'll take less trees small. I could take less trees large, I guess. I'll go small, stick with that. The clutter I take. And I get the SFO Snowy Pines, the realistic aspens, they all come with it. And your billboards. Yay. All nice and in one mod. Did you? It's not there. Nope, not there. Did you put it in yours? Here, I'll show you my any again. That sounded funny. My max star fade distance is 18,000. Default is 7. Grass types per texture is 15. Lower it so you have less types per texture. FPS boost. And I-mini grass size, the one on the very bottom. This here is your density. The lower this number, the thicker it is. The higher this number, the less dense it is. You don't want to run under 40. Even with my PC, I don't ever go under 40. It's in the Skyrim Mini. The Skyrim Mini is the default one that you see. See, it says Skyrim.ini. Now if I go to my prefs, it's not there. It's in the base Skyrim Mini. And sometimes you'll see these two lines aren't automatically added in. If you run Bethany, then sometimes it will put them in there, sometimes it won't. That's why I don't use Bethany. I don't like it. So 15 and 60. 18,000 fade distance. And that's tweakable. And I'm still going to have to get in my game. It doesn't matter. It's a grass mod's a grass mod, Mel. They all run off the same principle. It's just that which grass mod has which density. Like, your 40 might be my 60, and vice versa. I still would never go under 40. I think that's like you're just FPS problems. So if I go to, what is it, SFO? Let's see if I can even pull up the any for this. And it's just because I don't like this mod. I don't like having my grass and my trees. I know they're separate, but I just do not like this mod at all. I've had no luck with it. Nah, I don't think you're gonna have anything in here. I'm just gonna tell you the trees. All it is gonna be the files themselves. If there's an any in here, I could download it and take a look, but yeah, it is. It's right there. But that's the base. That's the base that they give you. Let's see what the description says. Avoid this mod if you're struggling with FPS already. I never worry about FPS. With this mod, I worry about FPS. Some users have reported a whole 30 FPS increase by turning it to high. Skyrim floor will overhaul any data. A value of 10 will give you very dense grass at the cost of performance. If you turn it to 10, I'm sorry, I don't want to speak to you. I-mini grass size 50 will give you FPS boost. but it'll be patchy. See, that's what I don't like. Because 50 shouldn't be patchy. 50 should be full. I set my grass right, Mel, because I'm not using this mod. You have any K here? Let's pull it up. Yeah, that's an FPS issue. 15, you're gonna stutter. I could take this mod and plug it in right now, and my FPS will drop to 50. For me, that's not good. It doesn't matter if it's its own. I know Mel's triggered because she's not understanding what I'm saying. It, it, the innies, it's not gonna matter. It, most grass mods come with their own, and then you tweak them from there. So you've had yours at, well, see, you're running that ghost, and I don't know how that really. Yeah, 15 is a no bueno. It's a big no. Unless you're just taking screenshots with it. Yeah, but when was the last time you actually played? Like an actual, got in a game, didn't have any crashes, etc. 15's no bueno. Don't do it. Every grass mod will have its own. Or if it doesn't, they'll give you recommendations of what to do. So I'm telling you, if I plug SFO in now, and I set mine to 15, I'll drop 10 FPS instantly. Like that. And it'll just look like over cluttered. Like there'll be too much grass. It's Skyrim, it's not supposed to be. And that's why I can get away with running, 1200 mods and still be at 60 FPS. I love you, but you're not right on this. It'd be the same, like, let's go to Nordic. Because I think we're in the same, yeah, we're in the same section here with Nordic. I think it's right above, actually. No, it's down below. Yeah, vegetation, okay. So we did Vados from Verdant. Viscous. Let's look at that. Then there's Voluptuous, Realistic, and Grass Fields. These are some other ones. Let's see. Any requirements? No. Tweaks. Recommended. So each one has its own. Whether this comes or it wants you to tweak it yourself. Author grass settings. You can go as low as 50, but I would recommend most people with medium to high-end rigs use 70 for gameplay and dense grass. That's this. It's the one you have set to 15. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. Most grasses have their own. Let's check out Voluptuous. See what Voluptuous gives you. Yep. 60 to 100. iMini grass size can be set between 0 and 100. The lower the value, the more dense and less performance. 60 to 100. Right? And this one also recommends the display shadow on grass equals 0. So it's for the grass shader. Let's look at lore realistic. If it even has, this is a small page here. Most 512, 512. I don't think so. I don't know if there's any, Oh, it's just a, okay. That's almost like an add-on. Grass field. You could adjust density 20 for high spec users, 40 to 60 for middle spec. So like for this one, I could probably do 15. Cause mine's a high spec. But I wouldn't do it. So. I value performance over look. Was this Northern? Oh, that's the guide itself. Okay. Yeah, so they all have like, aside from the one that was kind of like an addition. Let's see here. Go recommended. And yeah, like I said, I gave up on the 3D trees because I noticed a lot with Matthew's mods that they've got landscape issues. There's the hanging moss looks odd if you take the plants. I doubt they're gonna get fixed. They look nice, and I had them in for my last play, and then I wound up swapping them out, and then I put them back in. And then of course I had to do some finagling with my separate moss mod. I had to literally put that on the bottom of my load order. It was the only place I was able to get it to work. So, and it causes like landscape splits. It sticks into rocks. So I gave up on Skyrim 3D trees. The EV2 is still king in my book for the trees. Because you get a lot of vert stuff anyway. Plus you get the aspens and the billboards come in. What's up? What are you? Hold on, let me go back and read. Oh, is she just looking for the place for it? Well, I think she knows the place. She put it up where to adjust it. Hold on. It was the top of photo, right, Mel? So, all right. So, um, instead of the floor overhaul, your tools here is your ini editor. It'll be the second one down. That's the one I was just on. This one here. And it's going to be on your Skyrim mini. If that's what you were asking me. Yeah, Skyrim mini, not preferences, not prefs. So if you don't see these bottom two, I know it's hard to see here. Max type, grass types here. I could probably. Let me do this. Here, I'll put this in Campfire for you too. Copy those into your Skyrim ini, not your prefs. And then you can go into your ini editor anytime and change them to whatever you like. But save them. And that way you can go between taking screenshots and gameplay. But once they're in there and saved, you can adjust them however you like. Your grass mud itself isn't going to matter. Your actual inis is what's going to adjust them. You'll have a recommended, yes. Have a good night, Strudel. Like you'll have a recommended, but you know, like that's why you hear everybody that's on console that uses SFO, they all have FPS issues. They all have stuttering issues. It's a heavy mod. It just is. Turn your fade distance somewhere between 13,000 and 18,000. That should be up above. You'll definitely have that in your innie, because that comes default with the base game. It should be this one here. Mine's set to 18,000. Right here. It defaults at 7,000. What do you mean grids? Just what you see on my screen right there, that's all you need. Once you set the fade higher up, you won't have grass pop in. What are you watching on mobile? I could barely see it, and I got a 27-inch monitor right in my face. Alright, getting back to it. EVT. Okay. Don't need billboards from Oldham for Dawn Guard. I don't know if I'm going to go with Eeks. I went with it last time. This is where I go back and forth with stuff like that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I will. What's the other one? Kabloom. John's mod. I don't know, maybe I will. I like Geeks. It's a nice mod. It's fairly small. 2K Mountain. Removes fungal pot textures. Plays with meshes and billboards installed in your preferred manner. Did I take the update the last time? I think I did. So this is including the 2K Mountain Flowers. So this has Lucid APs. Okay, cool. And stuff from Mindflux. And they have billboards. That's nice. Beautiful. I'm leaving Skyrim 3D everything alone. Not messing with it. Because here, hide or delete. Have fun with that. Because there's your issues. Yeah, we'll take the mushroomy textures. We'll take this. Hanging moss into plant. I believe, hold on, there was... Oh, now I can't remember where it was. I think there was one on SE. Yeah, yeah. Well, the reason for it, like I said, Sonar, was it cuts into the landscape so much that it's an eyesore. The trees look great. Like, Matthew did a fantastic job on the trees, but some of the bases, I've noticed so many issues with them. And it didn't matter if you, like, you'd have to use Jackson's positioner to, like, put something in front of it. For trees, EVT, Enhanced Vanilla Trees. And then once I run LODs, it almost doesn't matter. You'll see aspens for days, you'll see the snow pines. You have to think of it like this too. Trees give off shadows. Shadows eat FPS. So the more thick and the more number of trees you put in your game is creating more shadows. So unless you have a way to cut those back, It's just a performance hog. I do go in and I will cut my shadows in half because they're really not needed. Again, unless you're taking screenshots. So then you would leave them alone. Or you'd increase them, but I don't know why anybody would increase them because you might not get to walk around to take your shots, let alone play the game. Yeah, this is the one. We'll go 2K at this. And the main file. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. What are we on here? Do I do the shadows in Steam? No, I do the shadows right from my innies. I'll physically put the lines of code in myself if they're not already there. Like, cause I just generated a base game. The hanging moss? Hanging moss replacer into plant wind. It's an LE mod. It's one of my favorites. This is your hanging moss. It's no longer that ugly, crappy moss that you see in the game. Even with other mods that adjust flora, I mean, it looks more like ivy than moss. Do you know what I mean? But it's not an eyesore. You guys have seen the vanilla hanging moss. It's nothing pretty to look at. Whereas, you know, this I can definitely live with. You can see leaves on here like this. And for whatever reason, it sort of increases the hitbox to, you know, grab it and, you know, take it. Like this, I believe this is Rift in here. Like when you first walk in, this should be, what's his name's house? Aaron's house, or Bully? I think, yeah, Bully's house, I think, is at the end. Maul is standing over here in the corner, so, yeah, it looks nice. It's an LE mod, it's, you know, there's a 1K, there's a 2K, it's literally textures, you can use this perfectly safe. What's the update? Yep, just another texture, update texture for 1K or a 2K. So you can pick either one of these two. I go 2K. Did you want that wind? Did you want me to... Here. Should I DM you or should I just put it in campfire? Or I'll just put it in campfire. And then when you guys take it, let me know and I'll delete it out of there. So it's not like clogging stuff up. Is this giant lichen? Okay, so this is Maury's lichen. This is what you saw me use in this game. I love that. This is absolutely beautiful. You can't even see these in the base game. They blend into the landscape. They actually stand out and they glow. The little bulbs or whatever they are, the buds, they glow. It's pretty cool. And these are 4K textures, so I take the 4K version. There's a 4K and a 1K. They look good. Yep. Alright. Did we do Swamp Fungal Pot? I think we did. No, we didn't. So these are all old rim mods. And this one's got a couple different ones. You got it, Win? Awesome. T Skyrim, yes, but I won't be for this one. Um, the reason is because Perkus adds in a shit ton of weapons. The only one I'm using is lore weapon expansion with this. So I won't be using immersive weapons. I won't be using T Skyrim. Just LWE. Uh, and what'll happen is perma will change them. Like your iron sword will become an iron arming sword. It will have its stats altered, its value altered, its weight will be altered, um, probably increased for the most part, maybe except for the cost, like the value to sell, purchase, and things like that. Same with the armor ratings. Like your iron armor will go from, I think, what's the default? 24, maybe? It might double. It might go to 48. So, but it basically de-levels everything else as well. I'll be doing, yeah, it's similar to it. There's a lot of aspects of Requiem in terms of the values of the armors and weapons. Um, Requiem's a lot harder, but I believe Sona, you were telling me too. I think they were about to port Requiem to SE. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to doing a Requiem play. Well, there's a bunch of T Skyrim stuff. Let's see. Let me grab these first. Just so I can get off the LE page. Now Skaithcraw. There's no Skaithcraw in SC? Hold on a second. There has to be. Yeah, there it was. Hold on. It's rallies. I knew it. I knew I remembered seeing one. Where'd it go? Yeah, Rally's Hanging Moss. Rally's got Hanging Moss too. Check this one out. This is already on SE. Hell, I might use this. This one looks a little bit better. Wind, if you're still around, there's another one for you. Oh, nice. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to doing a Requiem play. I'll set up a different profile. What was I was talking about something. What was I doing? Oh, well, thank you, Wind. So I linked that other one too, just because it's already on SE. It honestly does look better than the LE version, but I've used the LE version before. This is the SE version. This is Rallies, right? Kind of similar, but you know. And there's a desaturated as well, which also looks pretty good. This looks more like actual hanging moss. It has more of a mossy. Looks like bud, to be honest with you, if you look at it real quick. And of course, this was the vanilla. Ugly. This is nice and clean. See? Looks nice. Clips a little bit, but what can you do? Yeah. See? Looks pretty good. That song was way too upbeat. Let's go back. What was I looking for? Rallyscape. Did I get it? No, I didn't. Because I'm a dumbass. So here it is, Skaithcraw. For those of you, it really makes it stand out. Almost to the point where it's really hard to pick. I kind of like the vanilla coloring. The textures on the new are just so much better. They're so much more improved. And there's your 2K vanilla color. If you wanted a 2K and you wanted to stay with the vanilla color, you can have a 2K version of it. There you go, Mel. That's for you. All green. So I don't know what version I'll pick. Let's take one. Let's see. FOMOD. Okay. Let's see what this gives me. Rally's default, new vanilla, all green, all red. All red desaturated. I'm so tempted to pick the green though. Maybe new vanilla. I don't know. Let's go new vanilla. Yeah, because the red is... I like the purple. There we go. That's a good one. Okay. Yeah, there's a ton of rallies mods. They all touch on tiny little things here and there. Right? You find more you need. I went over my limit already, Wind. I'm sorry. I'm at 256, but my plugins, I'm still at 84, so I'm good. And I'll be skipping some things too. The tundra grass, I'm not worried. We already touched on grass. I don't really feel the need to do that. Dragon Tongue, it's included in Eeks. But this is Mari's, so I do want to see this. I want to take a look at it just so I can see. So you guys will see. So you have some options, right? Because it's textures. Look at this for the Dragon's Tongue. And it keeps the original nice yellow, but there's hints of violet and blue. Right? It's a nice pretty one. This is where, you know, Ellie gets all the good stuff. Not a lot of it gets ported over. But you can use it, right? Let's see, other pictures. I think this is nice. Like, this isn't too much, you know? And it blends in well with the game. This is where LE shines. And of course, if you have EMB, you'll see it glow like this. It's nice. Even without running an EMB, it still looks pretty nice. That's some detail right there. That's beautiful. I'm curious about the size of this now because I kind of want to use it. The 2K version's 1.2 meg. So this has to be the 4K, 4.3. It's a small file. I'm not using it because I like the one that comes with rentals. So, but there's another option for you. Reach tree reborn. More alive. Less dead tree. No, because I've already done trees. Poison bloom. This mod adds dozens of poison blooms to the swamps of Mort. This could be cool. This would definitely be good for my character. You guys know what the poison blooms are, these things. You get near them, they open up and they poison the shit out of you. For my character, yeah, see that if you get too close and you don't pick them, they emit a gas. Yeah, I'm gonna add this one in, why not? It's just to the swamps of Morthal, so it shouldn't even be, there it goes. Beautiful. Anything else? Mushroom circles. Landscapes we're good on. Enhanced landscapes, dead marshes, bent pines. Bent pines 2. No. Already done trees. I didn't see landscape fixes in here, did I? Enhanced landscape. Now then it goes right to city overhaul. Alright, let's grab it while we can. Because there's going to be a bunch. Landscape fixes. So we want the base. We're going to need JK's towns. We are going to need... Should I go with the Arthmore mods? I don't know, I don't think so. Oh shit, Mike, have a good one. I'm sorry, bud. I say have a good one, and of course then I read the rest of it. I hope he feels better too, man. That stuff is tough. Rest up yourself too, if you get a chance. What did I take? What did I take? We'll get the main one. And then... So that's the JK's patch. We'll leave this here. What are we creating? City overhaul. We'll just call it city overhauls. Well, cities and towns. Seems pretty good. Let's drag it down. Because we don't know. Maybe they'll be placed in the lower. Like I said, Northern experience is structured a lot different than the Nordic guide. But here's the thing. I am going to... Oh, here, let me go back. I'm only doing this just to back out. Alright. Doesn't pop up, huh? There it is. Oh, are you kidding me? I'm too quick for this. Come on. Alright. So this is the full Legendary Cities mod, right? And I ported a version from SE to console, which only had 7 of the 10 original cities. This one has all 10. This is a big mod. This is 475 megabytes, essentially, right? I'm going to port and convert this to SE. This is another one that I'm going to be doing. This is going to be adding in all 10 towns. Right? No requirements. We're good. Mods are implemented for all cities in 5.0 version. It should be 5 point something. This one. Nexus Mod Manager compatible, all in one. 4.5 mod. Just install this, then the 4.5 to rewrite. Okay. So I'll be porting this to SE, just like I did with the house mod. This one's a lot bigger, of course. There's a little video here. So you get ML City, Blackmore, Nemalta, North Keep, Hallerton Creek, Granite Hall. So Vernon Dumper Wall, and Peregrine Village are in the LE version. There's no description. This was literally copied and pasted. So you'll have them all. You get a tiny little map. This is the same that's on the SE version, right? Except he's got a whole hell of a lot more images. I think a lot of user images. Dumper Wall. This is one you don't see. The Blades Tower. North Keep. Blackmore Fortress. Granite Hall. Yeah, so that's going to be the project. I'll be doing this tomorrow. You mean Divine Villages, Mo? Yeah, there's a bunch in it. Well, they're not hers. She ported them. I could tell you whose they are, so you could find the mod author. Let me see here. Here's one of them. Created by Tetradite. I'm trying to think of some of the other names. I don't know, because, like I said, I haven't used her mods in God knows how long. Since console. Yeah, they're all other people's stuff. Cities itself is hers, but that only touches the existing ones. I was only using this as an example. That's what I'm saying, if you wanted to find the author. I'm not sure it's even the same person that did all of them. They're probably different. And I know she renamed a couple, so... Skyrim Sewers. No, because we're gonna get a version of that with Legacy, I believe. Although the Provincial Courier Service could be nice. Let's gonna add a lot in though, isn't it? Right there, little guy. The courier shack. Why not? Add that in. Gilder green regrown. Do I have that? I think I have this. In a sec. I do. And it's up higher. 42. Yep. Okay. We're good. Bam. One less I have to worry about. Okay. Do I want cannabis in Skyrim? Because that was another one that I was going to add in. I'll have to... It's not on the list here, but... And I'm not doing like storefront or anything, any of the other stuff here. I'll do JK's. We'll do Dawn of Skyrim because I love the combination. I don't worry about the no lights patch. Arthmore's patch pack. Yes, because it's got cutting room floor in here. So you need it. That should be everything, right? Get Explorer off my screen. Explorer never gets opened. Garbage. And hopefully we'll be getting perms for Dawn of Skyrim soon. So I'll be able to port this one to console. Hopefully. This is one of my favorite mods. A few of us are working on this now. Alright, JK's first. You look good. Dawn of Skyrim, in you go. And the update. Merge. I don't believe I'm going to be using any of Arthmore's mods, but I do have to take the individual patches for cutting room floor. That should be it. And just rename it, that's it. Literally all it is. Actually, let me put it above there. And then we want the... let's see here. JK's Dawn patch. So they work together nicely. Best combo going. A lot of the other stuff I leave off. Like I said, I could throw all of Arthmore's on there, but I'm trying to keep my ESPs down. I thought, isn't that the one Sam was porting? The Dawnbreaker? I thought you were talking to him earlier about, and he was working on it. Or is that a different mod? Or am I just crazy? I don't know, let me see how I'm doing on them. We're 91. That's a good idea, the new Karthwaite. Alright, so... instead of Arthmore's... yeah, they're dubbed by Soldier of War. So they're part of the Great City mods. Uh, let's do this. Alright. Minor cities and towns. Don't know. Solitude. Can't do Solitude. It's included. Some of these are already included. That's the problem. Karthwasten, I'm not sure if Dawn of Sky... Well, here. I'll have to check. What does Minor do? This is the merge of Dawnstar, Dragonbridge, Falkirk. Does not include... So Karthwasten and Old Roldan. These are ones I'm gonna have to take a look. Normally I don't run any of the Great City mods anymore. Reason is they have nav mesh issues. Most haven't been resolved. I don't believe either of these do, but I've never used them. I know for a fact Dragonbridge does. I know for a fact Solitude does. I know for a fact Falkreath does. That's why I don't run them. These do look interesting though. Relatively new as well. Karthwasten. It adds just enough to the town. Do you know what I mean? It's a mining town, really. So, I mean, I don't know. That I'll have to think on. I could probably skip. Yeah, like I said, these are all Arthmore's. And because I'm going to be doing legendary cities, I'll be porting that. Sears is his patch pack, which I believe they say to put there. Okay. Let us alternate start low. There. Alright, we have JK's landscape. Landscape for JK's. If I run loot, I'm going to get an error, right? I should. I have 5 warnings. I don't have any errors. This is all stuff from Quinn's or the patch hub. And this is all legacy patches, so you guys could ignore that. Patch hub. Summer mist. Ooh, that's one I missed. Hold on, let me. May as well grab that while I have it, right? Alright, loot. What else? So, landscape fixes, alternate start, cutting room floor, JK's, provincial courier service. We have JK's. Oh, I didn't activate it. Okay. Arthmore's Towns. We have this. So, Landscape Fixes does have one for the Great Cities, Minor Cities and Towns. If you guys run all of them together, there's the one there. I didn't see one for Provincial Courier Service. So, unless it's within Arthmoors. Grab it again. Let's get the summer mist patch in though. Alright. So one for alternate start, one for cutting room floor. One for provincial courier service. Just leave it as is. Just leave it as patches. Alright. So what this will do, this will give me a bunch. Couple. See them down there? Alternate start can stay here. Cutting room floor. Provincial courier service. Okay. Beautiful. That should be all. Oh, what time is it? 1 a.m.? Okay. Well, here's another one that used Mallingue. By Skumaface. That's the original creator. So yeah, these were all, I think most of them were different authors. That I guess she got perms from them and compiled them into villages. Nexus requirements, container level list fixes, complete loot overhaul. So it has a requirement. You have to have that mod first to use this town mod. I wonder if that's why all our to find village mods crash. I don't know if it's a hard requirement. Let's see. It says recommended to make use of the C. Okay, so okay. Unless she probably did the level list herself, I would assume. I call it console limitation and trying to do too much. No, I tested the new version out. It's still Crash Central. They just got released. That and DC had its update. I have them. I wiped clean, cleared reserve, and the first one I went to, it crashed horribly. I'd use their stuff too if it wasn't so broken. I'd use cities all day over JK's. I don't know what it is about what she does, because so many people say she's got so much talent, but I've never had issues with JK's like that, you know? And it's supposedly heavier on console anyway. Who knows? Yeah, see how Oakwood's in TS Arena? So other locations, let me see here. So I just want to make sure it's not down here. There's missives. Missives is going in. Actually, I'm leaving missives out for this one. I'm not going to be doing anything with missives with this character. Um, Frescoes. There we go. So let me. I have to go back to Ellie just to get this. I'm gonna have to download the Ellie version so I can remind myself. Skyrim, so he's got two. Hold on here. This is Skyrim Cities. A remake of the Skyrim Vanilla Cities, Falkreath and Morthal. Really? No idea. Well, there's Morthal right there. It's got a gate. This looks like Vanilla Plus, kind of. Interesting. It's different. I didn't even know this existed. What's up, Slay? Yeah, Mel, if you're talking about Legendary Cities, yeah, that's the one I ported over to Xbox. I'm gonna report the full version though for Xbox as well. If you go to my page on BethesdaNet, I have a message in the description and in the comments saying update coming soon. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this full version here with all 10 cities. I'm gonna convert it to SE, and I'm gonna, you know, port everything over. Because people were saying, well, how come there's 7 out of the 10? And I'm like, because it's the SE version of the mod. I said I didn't port the LE version. I said I only had perms for the SE version. But now I have perms to get this full and I'll update it with the new one. I already warned everybody. I said, yeah, you're gonna have to do a new game start with it, and it's gonna be a larger file, or I could leave that version and just do this one separate. So people have choice. They can use a smaller file with 3 less towns, town/cities, or they can have this big one. It won't be 474 megabytes though for 10 cities. But it adds like all NPCs, etc. So Mel, I feel like you're living under a rock. I ported the Frescoes mod too. I use it in every setup. It's excellent, by the way. There's a couple versions though. Get the 2019 because it's an AIO. Not only does it do Solitude, but it does like every shrine, um, and every like Hall of the Dead, and every temple in the game. Oh, I'll show you the mosaics. Maybe let me close this out here. Let me just grab the whole file here. I have to see which one do I need. I need the first main file, right? So new in version 5, this time just, maybe there are just 7. Hold on a second here. No, because I've seen this here, version 3. This is the version I'm going to be doing. Let's look at the file. I hope this isn't BS8 up. I'll be so pissed. There's a lot here. This is all stuff that has to be converted over. See this? Look at that. Yeah. We're halfway there. Oh yeah, all those meshes. All those textures I have to do. Oh, there's more. Oh, that's terrible. Oh wait, we're all. Yeah, we're done. Okay. This version has them all. Amol, Blackmore, Dumper Wall, Granite Hall, Hellerton Creek, the Malton North Keep, uh, Pagram Village, Sungard, Burnham Wood, Dunstead Grove. Yeah, big boy. I'm not gonna add that quite yet. We'll add it. I'll remember because I know it's something I have to do tomorrow. Do I need environmental structures? Structures? There we go. You had the problem with JKs and Solitude Floating Shrine. What mosaic? It's all the same mod. I've used it in the last 4 plays I've done. You might not have seen it. At least not live. You usually catch them like when I'm done. Or at least you tell me you go back and watch them. But if you did go back and watch them, you would have seen me use them. No, here, hold on, I'll show you. Where is it? It's down here. I saw it somewhere. Here. These you're talking about, right? The frescoes? Because whatever mosaic is you're talking about, I have no idea what that is. Oh, that's Ren Shrines. Yeah, but that's not JK's. That was Matthew's 3D trees that was causing that issue. In Riften. I know exactly what you're talking about. Because there's 2 trees on the side of that, and the one tree wound up making it float. It was technically above where it was supposed to be. There was supposed to be vines. Yeah, like I think it was a Shrine of Talos there in the back of Riften. Yeah, it was just floating above where it was, and then part of the tree was cut off, and that was due to Matthews. But if you're talking about the frescoes, this is the one I use. This is the one that I ported over to Xbox. This, because the other version doesn't have this version of the lanterns. You'll have, I think, just plain these small little pedestals here with nothing. You'll have the frescoes in the back, and they're the same quality. It leaves us out. Of course, the file's a little bit larger, but I got it done as best I could for Xbox. But this is the version that you'll see. This is the full version. It's the one that you guys have. Optional file. Hold on. I'll tell you. You don't need the optional file. You need the complete. This 9.2 megabyte. Because there's a complete no lanterns version. This is the complete SSC. The main files don't go in order. So reading is your best friend here. There's a solitude only, no lanterns. Mosaics instead. I don't. This is the one you're talking about? No, I don't like this one. And I probably can't, well, let me see. Yeah, because they're all in the same one. It's a larger file anyway. It changes the frescoes to be temple mosaics. So you need the main file plus this one. Yeah, no, I don't like the mosaic. I like the frescoes themselves. It's easy. Also why I didn't include it in the port. Because then that just would have bumped the megabyte space up. And trust me, Xbox, it's not going to look any better on an Xbox having the mosaics. I forgot what I was doing now. Let's see. Alright, so no more towns, no settlements. I'm not doing any of that stuff. None of the Arthmore stuff. So I'll be porting legendary cities. What else am I going to be doing? Cities and towns. Environmental structures, okay. Yep. Probably just going to be 2 of these. Can't play without this one. Bam. Alright. What do you mean, what do you do? You have to take the main mod. If you're talking about the mosaics, it needs the main file, and then it needs, yeah, right underneath it. Unless it says overwrite, always put underneath. Don't just go merging stuff, unless it tells you to. Because then you'll go breaking things. So you need not only the main file, but then you're gonna need another 16 megabytes on top of it. But yeah, put it right under the other one, under the main file. Let's see. So they're almost the same. There's really nothing else. Like I said, missives would have been the only other thing I would have added, but this character's, well, how am I on my plugins? I'm not even at 100. I'll be at 300 mods and I'll be just tipping at 100. That's a lot bigger than I thought I was going to do. But my plugins are perfect. I'm actually really efficient with this particular setup. It is, isn't it, Wind? Woodland Lullaby. Here, let me turn it, can I turn it? I'll restart it. I like this one. See, I merge a bunch of stuff, but like, I know for the most part, unless it's a mod I haven't used, I pretty much know what can be merged and what can't. Now, you don't necessarily have to merge them. There's nothing wrong with literally putting an update file. Say like, say JK's is the main one, and then like landscape fixes here is an update for JK's that's supposed to be merged. there's nothing wrong with putting it directly below it, but then in your plugins tab, if it's got an ESP, you also have to make sure that that plugin is directly below it too. So if you go to hit, like if you sort with loot, which I don't recommend doing, it may throw that update patch above it, in which case you're going to have to go removing and reorganizing stuff. But yeah, you could literally do, like, say things have like 2 updates, there's a main file, 2 updates, and then like 3 miscellaneous. So there's technically there's 6 mods. There's no reason you couldn't have all 6 in a row. That'd be perfectly fine too. At least with MO2. I don't know how Vortex handles it. I would assume similarly, but I don't know. Would I do missives? Would I do... I don't know, I don't think so. Because then I have to do the JS, JK, and there's patches now. We're gonna skip it. He's not gonna be doing stuff like that. Interiors. I'd love to be able to use distinct interiors. It conflicts with Legacy. Oh, unless there's fixes for it. Hold on. Let's see. If you haven't used distinct interiors, I recommend doing it. It's a large mod, but I will show you a little bit of what it does. So this is the Temple of Mara. It completely overhauls the interior of everything it touches. Bellathor's, you can see, I mean, now it adds a lot of clutter in. Even stuff like this. Now he's got static stuff you can't move, but there's a staff in the frozen hearth. So yeah, good mod, great mod. Legacy unfortunately adds some things in, and I would much rather have that than some statics in an interior. But if you weren't running it, I definitely recommend at least trying it out. Yeah, we'll do the frescoes now. We may as well. Complete. There we go. Anything else? The Raven's Breeze Home. Shadowfoot Sanction. I don't think have I seen this one? I don't think so. I've heard of this one. Oh, that's definitely going to conflict with Dawn of Skyrim. But damn, look at Breeze Home. Killer. You're gonna need New Sky UI, A Matter of Time, Skyhud, the widget mod, and customizable UI replacer, in that order. And you're gonna need to tweak it a certain way. Wind has you there, Mel. Yeah, the order's a matter of time. Sky HUD. Widget. Customizable UI. I left it off for this play, I think. Did I take it? Hold on, let me see. I think I left it off. I left everything up. I don't have Dear Diary. Oh no, I have it on. I just don't have Dear Diary. Yeah, new Sky UI. I have the colored and animated Celtic icons. Sky HUD, matter of time widget. CUIR. So. I thought I did. Oh well. I guess I did. Let's take the EMB off. The EMB is blocking my screen. Yeah, so that's not gonna go. Shadowfoot Sanctum. What is this? Player home. Sound. Oh, it brings me to the. Did it really just bring me to? It's a bad link. That's funny. What was the one I was looking for? Corinthian Tower. Dark Fox's mod. I don't think I'm spelling it right. I'll just do a search for it under his name. So this requires SkyUI and SKSE. This was one I was looking at. I did download this a long time ago. It's a wizard's tower. This guy's gonna be a wizard. Yep. Mel, you can use the old, well, it's not the old, but the regular SkyUI, but SkyUI has to have Skyrim ESM as its master. But the new one we should have pinned. It should still be in the guild board. Up in the mountains, the Winterhold region, huh? A high elf named Lucan. Oh, this is perfect. Conflicts. Any mod which may edit the same cell script or tower can potentially have compatibility issues. Known mods include Indigo and Worldston. I won't be using Indigo, so no worries there. Patches. I am very interested in this one. Like I said, I installed it a long time ago. This is right after I built my PC. Wizard's Tower. But it'll be nice to have a second home. Get that. I think that'd be nice. Right? So let's see his files here. What does Dark Fox have? Main file. Official guide, recruitment manual. Wow, he's like really meticulous with this. This was version 3.0. Okay. Definitely getting this. Win, didn't he say he was going back to do Millwater Retreat? I think he said this one was gonna be redone. Cause I know he's working on something. Maybe that's what he's doing now. Cause I can see, yeah, the update dates. Last updated, yeah, a couple days ago, 29th of February. So maybe this is the one he's doing now. It is. I'm gonna have to give this one a good look too. This music's fun. It's nice. Yeah, I like Dark Fox's work. Ah, here we go. So large scale creatures are basically diverse dragons, deadly dragons, and the patches. That's usually what I run. And that's usually it. Just those two mods. There should be a patch in here too. DDC is always good. We want the regular version. And take... If you use any of the other ones, obviously take those, but that's all I want. And change this to patches. Beautiful. Alright. What else can we do here? Durnavir Resurrected. So if you haven't seen this, this is actually going to be pretty cool. He regains his flesh over time. Turn it down a little bit. Sorry about that. Keep it at 2. So yeah, Durnavir regains his flesh over time. If you summon him. I thought that was actually pretty cool. Obviously that's kind of what he looks like. I believe you could see the change here. It'll go through him regaining his former glory, I guess you could say. So I'm tempted to use this one. And obviously here, first summon, it goes right through the rest of them. If using full restore option, you get them in gray, blue, or green. And then you can see the finished product. I obviously think the blue would be the best. That's my favorite color. Of course, the green seems to have a little bit nicer coloration in the wings, but I do like the blue. You have that one too, Wind? This one here? Yeah, it's neat. It's neat to see. Is this Opus? It is. Let's get it. Durnavir. Wow, that's a big. Look at the size of that fucking file. Holy shit. Okay, I mean, yeah, we're getting it anyway. Did I see a mod say less dragons? Alright, well, we don't want fast or instant, we want normal. Best option visually, yeah. Blue, green, or simple gray. Blue, green. Let's go blue. It's my favorite color. And we want full restore. We'll have no trace of decay. Should he have some trace of decay though? I mean, how did you set yours up, Wind? Oh, Mel, just reverse it. Just take the just turn it back into a normal ESP. That's all you do. Just open up SkyUI and Xedit. Um, for this degree of restoration, Wind, did you put him to full restore? Did you like, so the wings don't have any, it's this slightly slimy forever, so he kind of has a little bit of deterioration here. But as far as his scale, I think full restore would probably be better. If I'm gonna restore him, you know, Durnavir, God of Death. What is this? Hold on. Let's take a look. God of Death. It just sounds freaking cool. A challenging competitor in the soul count, carrying a powerful ally. Oh, I have to put music on for this. I have to. Delivers a better, stronger, remastered God of Death. He is retextured and can breathe purple or blue undead flames, inspired by Game of Thrones. Yeah, full restore is what I was gonna go for too. Yep. Durnavir's stats are now akin to a legendary dragon. He's not overpowered. He just won't die in one or two hits. Durnavir's summon spell has been added. Let's get this one too. Let's take the patch and install. So we want blue fire. Blue fire with tail knockdown effect. Purple fire. Anything blue flames in my book is pretty freaking cool. So I don't have that. Alright. So let's do that, do that. It should have a secondary plugin. Okay, cool. Yeah, we do. Let's move those three down. What am I at now? See, this is where the plugins start to... I'm way at 105 and I'm at 274. Nice. Less dragons. Pfft. We want more dragons. I think I'll add birds and flocks. Or what is it called? Skybirds? Is that the one? I'm not really sure. I want to add a couple... Or, well, I want to add one bird mod. You should never add more than one. Because those things are a pain. So let's see. Birds and flocks. SSC. Oh, there it is. Skybirds. I think this is the one. I'm gonna have to check and see if I have a copy then, Mel. Because the only copy I have is the one that's in my load order right now. For the new version. I'll have to make another copy. But I'll have to do it tomorrow because it's going on 2 a.m. here. Hold on, what do you mean? Added the masters by hand to Skyway yesterday. I don't understand the question either. So if I could well, here, hold on. Let's close some stuff down here. Alright. Let's go up. Alright. So, SkyUI here. Yours should look like this. It should be this version. It'll say new SkyUI, but it'll be a light plugin. It'll already have Skyrim ESM as its master. So if you're talking about the HUD setup, right? The only thing I threw in colored and animated Celtic icons for SkyUI. That's just a personal taste. You don't need this one. The ones you do need are SkyHUD or less intrusive HUD, a matter of time, widget, and customizable UI. Now you have to take whichever. If you take SkyHUD, take the SkyHUD version. If you take less intrusive HUD, there's a less intrusive HUD version. But you need them, and you need them in this order. And then you have to set them up. Yeah, but see, like SkyUI 5 here. Let's see. Yes, even I haven't downloaded this one since the 21st of January. I used the new one. So 5.2. Of course it's BS8 up, why wouldn't it be? But you would just open this in Xedit. Make Skyrim ESM here. It's master, just, select this one, select SkyUI. Once you do that, you're fine. You can make SkyUI an ESL like it is. You don't have to. It's not, that's how I have mine set up. It saves me a plugin slot, but you don't have to do it. But the rest of them you need, and you need them in that order. And then there's things you're gonna have to tweak too. Customizable UI replacer, interface, SkyHUD, SkyHUD text. So the meter, set that to 0. See, I didn't even have that done. Otherwise your health meter will stay on. Whoa, messages. I can't read that quick, Mo. I know you swipe, but I can't read that quick. It should be pinned. Tim pinned this a while ago. I'll have to go take a look to see, because I don't wanna double pin it. It's already saved. Awesome. Where it's at, I have no idea. Let's take a look. Delete that. This is mod discussion. I don't know if it's in mod discussion. It might be. There it is. Customizable UI replacer. Tim had it pinned. This is from back in the beginning of December. The text file's inside it now. The text file is inside this mod. I just showed you how to open it. Right here. Open and explore. Interface. Skyhood. Skyhood text. Right click. Open with. Notepad. All you need to change is the U persistent meter. That's it. Change it to 0. Yep, it's within the mod. You don't have to add or touch any of this stuff. This one here is going to default to 1 under gameplay. It's going to be the top tab here. This number here is going to be 1. Change it to 0. That's all you do. As far as how you set up your UI, that's up to you. Because there's tons of options in there. I mean, you're going to spend a day just setting it up. But you'll have it looking like how Wind and I have ours. Tim has his, Mr. B has his looking like that. There's a few others that go the same route. And they take either like the less intrusive HUD version of it, or I've been using Skyhood forever, so that's the one I take. But there's options in there too for you. Let me get off the Discord. Thank God I have the... Yeah, I do have the thing down. Okay. Birds. Skybirds. Mod is exclusive to Nexus. Is it really? This mod's been stolen. Actually, I think it's been ported. Which reminds me I have to add Harvest Overhaul redone. So I won't be adding a birds mod. Nope. The Blood Horker. Remodels car stack. Really? Let's see. Man, he's one ugly dude. For a split second, I thought they were something else. I mean, it doesn't really... It changes them a little bit, but I mean... I mean, he's detailed. That looks pretty cool. He's some freaky fucking eye thing going on there. It's just weird. I never understood why people thought he was so hard to beat. How big is this one? Nah, not even worth it. Not even worth it. It's I thought it was something, Wind. Oh, what am I looking for? Ah, there it is. Draugr upgrades and improvements. This is one I cannot play without now. 300 megabytes of Draugr in all their glory. What else? The Falkreath Hauntings. Fetching, it says. Come on. Daedric Beast, when to go. See, now I'm starting to just add. I forgot Organized Bandit loot. There it is. I did. I did. And we want the update file. It's gonna take a while. It's a big file. Alright. Moving on. We did large creature mods, Stalker upgrade. Magic! My favorite category. As soon as we get this one. We put the Organized Bandit Patrol add-on as well. So, that should make it interesting. Alright. Magic. Yay. Well, so here's the thing. Forgotten Magic Redone is obviously my favorite. It's going in. Come on, open up. Oh, did you really just do that? Really? Oh my god. You know, sometimes... Pain in the ass. We're close. What I meant to do was open a second one. For FMR. We're not using Ordinator, so we don't need the Ordinator compatibility patch. Don't worry about it. Apocalypse though, yes. We are going to need this. No Ordinator compatibility with that either. FMR, yes, absolutely. So here's the other one. Mysticism. So I've been curious about this one. I haven't downloaded it yet. This is Simon's mod. He's got the spell lists, and there's a few in each that seem fairly interesting. And the way that he's got it structured is really nice. Should probably preface it with that. Because you get water breathing as a novice spell. And it's for 60 seconds, right? Open novice locks. Apprentice lock. Adept lock. Obviously expert and then master, right? I believe there's master lock. Is it open master lock? Maybe not. Scale form. Improved unarmed damage by 10 points for 60 seconds. So stuff like that. He's got feather, carry weight. So a lot of this stuff makes sense. It's like Vanilla plus Oblivion, possibly Morrowind. Well, I know a lot of the spells either were in one of those two games or were supposed to be in Skyrim and were just left out. Whatever. But some of them are just kind of like, I'm looking at it and I'm not going to use half them. Specifically, Conjuration would be the main, well, one of the two main ones that I would be looking at, right? So you can conjure a skeleton, which is pretty cool. You can also raise a zombie, or a corpse up to level 8. He's got it locked in here, pretty good. But it, you know, it bumps up. Obviously, you go novice, apprentice, adept, expert, whatever. So you have a bound dagger, a bound sword, both at novice level. Then you get your battle axe and your bow at apprentice, not adept. The battle axe is apprentice, but the bow used to be adept. So that's all changed. It's still in a higher tier, but it's one lower than it used to be. Tomebound I've looked at. Shadow Spell package, I have it because I know the way that I play this character is all Forgotten Magic. Literally. I'll use Okado's Recital on him. That's probably like one of the only reasons why I have Apocalypse in there. Because I'm picking spells from here and there. But he'll basically focus on like the Warlock spells. He may branch off into Illusion a little bit. So maybe the Shadow Spell package would be something to look at. Let's take a look. Oh, can't type. Eight Destruction, 9 Alteration, 2 Illusion, 2 Enchants. So you have Seer, Drain Soul. Oh, he doesn't even put them on the main page? Oh, they're right there. Duh. Right underneath. What I wasn't looking at, right? Oh man, I'm starting to yawn now. You know, that means it's time for me to... Maybe. I'll have to think about it tonight, though. Put one on. I mean, I could always add it in, it's just... It's a nice song, too. I like this one. Winter's Night. Oh, I see, too. Okay. Let me find Dark Art Tomes. So scrolls and staves. Your perk bonuses do not apply. This one's kind of interesting. Yeah, let's add this one in. May as well. 3 files, huh? Alternative, shadow bolts, explode. I'll have to test that and see. Oh, did that say loose files? Oh, main ESP and. Okay, good. Restores for 2.0 shadow bolts instead of 3.0. Creeping terror purple effects. Restores the. We'll leave it alone for now. I won't mess with stuff. This will be the last that I do snag, by the way, guys. I'm gonna be calling it after this. It's 2 a.m. and I'm tired. So let me just sort my plugins real quick. Should only be at 1, 2, 3. Plug above all start. Awesome. So as you can see, we're only at 110 active plugins. I only have 22 ESLs to theoretically convert, which I know is going to escalate majorly when I do my patches. This is basically almost done for the most part. So this is where they recommend placing gist too. Okay. Well, I have it up higher, so it's not going to matter. As far as things like additional NPCs, I could probably do that now, right? I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. That's it for me, guys. I need to grab a snack and I'll be packing in for the night. So, we should get this done tomorrow. And what I'll do is, I'll do a stream of running the patcher, and then we'll get into some testing, character creation, and everything like that. Like I said, I know I say it'll sometimes it takes a day, but like with the last couple characters, it was only literally what we threw together, and we had fun with it. So I'll probably just stick with Wicco again for this guy. Nothing real special about it. Of course, I'm gonna have to add in, the hair mods and everything like that, which is kind of a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. Unless you guys don't mind vanilla hair. I hate vanilla hair. I'm sick of looking at it. It's like 14,000 hours of vanilla hair before before SE came out. So yeah, done with vanilla hair. So that's it. Everybody have a good night. I'm going out for smoke, grabbing a drink, grabbing a snack, going to bed. Everybody enjoy. I will see you later. Have a good one. Bye.